electric cars, they tend to get quite a bit of a mixed response. They also tend to generate a lot of random questions, like can you drive them in the rain? Well, yes, but can you drive them in the snow? Well, we're going to find out. This is the Mitsubishi iMiEV, which probably hasn't done quite as well as the Japanese manufacturer would have liked. And with competition from near identical cars by Peugeot and Citroen, it's not that hard to understand why really. But is it any good? Well, we've got some rather icy roads to put it to the test. Electric technology in the automotive industry is still relatively new, so if you are considering an EV, you're going to need to think long and hard, particularly about what it is that you're specifically looking for. Is it something that you're looking to get the family in at the weekend, or is it just more of a city runaround? If it is the city runaround, then the Mitsubishi iMiEV is a perfect contender. That's not to say you won't get the family in the back, because you certainly will. There's 4 seats in this car and a fair amount of space for the type of vehicle it is. The one thing that does let this car down a little bit is the quality of the plastics used within the cabin. It does all feel a little bit cheap. Plus, the £24,000 or thereabout price tag of this vehicle is quite high, especially if you compare it to the likes of the Twizy. And fair enough, the Renault Twizy does only have 1.5 seats, but it does make a perfect city runaround if that is what you're looking for. There's some little nifty features in the cabin, like this cup holder. We've got a glove box that's a fair size. We've got heated seats. We've got all our air conditioning and climate control as you'd wish. We've got a binnacle there, not too sure what you'd want to put in there. It's a bit ugly, but let's not go into that. But electric windows, front and rear, so not bad. But as you may be looking to get comfortable in the back, the boot suffers as a consequence. You're looking at around 220 litres of boot space, but if you fold the seats down, this extends quite a bit. All in all, there is a surprising amount of space, especially when you look at its snug exterior. Once you get in the iMiEV, it's a very fun car to drive. Bearing in mind that electric cars obviously don't have your typical combustion engine, the drivetrains provide instant power, so you may expect it to be a little bit of lag in putting your foot on the throttle to actually being propelled forward, but there isn't. It feels very, very nippy, and working around the city in this car would be very, very easy. The steering is very responsive, it's relatively light, but it feels great to drive. It feels like a go-kart, and you could have some real fun in this vehicle. Now, it's pretty unfortunate that I've not got the right type of roads to really put this car to the test, because it is very icy and quite deep snow at the moment, so we're lucky to be driving this car at all. But in the ice, it's handling incredibly well, which is good news for us in the UK, because our weather is absolutely shocking, and there's a fair chance you're going to have to be driving this vehicle in similar conditions. One thing that you'll notice when you drive electric cars is the lack of noise that they produce. If you are used to driving a traditional car and you've got that constant buzz from the engine, then it'll be a little bit alarming at first when you're driving an EV. But that said, in the Mitsubishi, there is a constant hum that you can hear, and I quite like that, because in the Nissan Leaf there's virtually no sound whatsoever, and it can be a little bit disconcerting at times, especially when you're approaching a pedestrian who cannot hear you coming. As we touched upon earlier, you do often get some quite random questions about electric cars, and it's no wonder, because the technology is so new. But at Motor Talk, it always amuses us at some of the questions that are asked. So what we would love you to do is comment below this video with any random questions you've ever heard about electric vehicles. And to answer the question at the start of the film, you can drive EVs in the snow quite well as well, actually. It's fun. With no petrol or diesel, there is obvious advantage of considerably lower costs. In fact, it costs just over £1 for a full charge. So in terms of cost efficiency, the iMiEV is absolutely brilliant. If you can afford its hefty price tag of £24,000 and are looking for a car to commute daily to your workplace that's say 20 miles away, then you may want to take it for a test drive. Out of the 5 available Motor Talk stars, we give the Mitsubishi iMiEV a 4-star rating, a relatively practical EV that's surprisingly fun to drive.